You already know what to do. You've known for days, maybe weeks. You can explain it clearly. You understand the consequences. You care about the outcome, and yet nothing moves. That's not a motivation problem. That's not a discipline problem. Something else is running. And until you understand what it actually is, the pattern will keep repeating. Every new plan, every fresh start, same result. So let's talk about what's really happening. The real problem, most people diagnose themselves wrong. They say, I'm just lazy, or I don't have enough discipline. So they try harder. They set alarms. They make lists. They feel motivated for 2 days. Then they end up exactly where they started. Here's why procrastination is not a discipline problem, it's an emotional regulation problem. Your brain isn't avoiding the task, it's avoiding the feeling the task creates. The uncertainty of not knowing if you'll do it well, the pressure of it actually mattering, the discomfort of sitting with something hard and slow when something easy and fast is one click away. Your brain doesn't care about your goals, it cares about how you feel right now. And the moment a task triggers any form of discomfort, anxiety, boredom, self doubt, your brain starts looking for relief. That relief has a name: short term mood repair, and it works instantly. That's exactly why it's so hard to stop. What it actually looks like: you open your laptop, you mean it this time, then a thought surfaces. Just one quick check. You don't even decide to do it. Your hand just moves. 20 minutes later, you're watching something that has nothing to do with your life, or you sit down and stare at the blank document and suddenly notice you're thirsty, then hungry, then the kitchen needs tidying. The task is still sitting there. You've just gotten very good at not looking directly at it. Or you tell yourself, tomorrow, when I'm less tired, when I feel ready, when the timing is right. You never feel ready. The timing is never perfect. And tomorrow always arrives with the same resistance today had. This is the pattern. And it's not random, it's mechanical. Why? It gets worse. Here's the part nobody explains. Every time you avoid a task, your brain records it. It logs this task equals sign discomfort. Next time you encounter it, the signal fires faster. The avoidance reflex is quicker. The task feels heavier than it did before, even if nothing about it changed. And the guilt builds on top of that, because now you're not just avoiding the task, you're avoiding the shame of having already avoided it. You're procrastinating on your procrastination. There's a name for this in psychology: the Zeigarnik effect. Unfinished tasks don't disappear from your mind. They stay active, running in the background, taking up space. That low hum of dread on a Sunday evening, that's multiple unfinished tasks quietly draining your mental energy. So you're not just unproductive, you're exhausted. And being exhausted makes starting even harder. The loop tightens on itself. The longer you wait, the bigger the task feels. The bigger it feels, the harder it is to start. The harder it is to start, the longer you wait. The shift. This is not a character flaw. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do: protect you from discomfort. The problem is that it's optimizing for the next 5 minutes, not the next 5 years. The task isn't the enemy. The feeling the task creates is what you're actually running from. And once you understand that, once you stop treating this as a willpower problem and start treating it as an emotional management problem, everything about how you approach it changes. Solution 1: reduce friction before you need willpower. Willpower is not reliable. It varies by the hour. It depletes. What's reliable is friction, specifically how many steps stand between you and starting. Every extra step is a chance for your brain to reroute. Every delay between intention and action is a window for avoidance to move in. So remove the steps. If you need to write, have the document open before you sit down. If you need to exercise, sleep in your gym clothes. If you need to study, have the book on your desk already open. This sounds absurd. It works anyway, because the goal isn't motivation. The goal is making the task easier to begin than to avoid. That's a design problem, not a character problem. Solve it like one. Solution two, change the environment. Your brain associates spaces with states. Your couch is wired to relaxation. Your bed is wired to rest. Your phone is wired to escape. If you try to do focused work inside those associations, you're fighting conditioning that's been building for years. Change the context. Go somewhere your brain hasn't linked to comfort and avoidance. A library, a coffee shop, a specific corner of a room you only use for work. Use headphones with music you only play during focused sessions. You're not tricking yourself. You're working with how memory and context actually function. Environments activate states. Use that deliberately instead of accidentally. Solution three, shrink the entry point. The biggest lie procrastination tells you is that starting means doing the whole thing. It doesn't. Starting means starting. 2 minutes, not to finish the report, just to open it and write one sentence, not to complete the project. Just to sit in front of it, not to be productive, just to begin. Psychologists call this reducing the activation energy for a task. The hardest part is the emotional cost of beginning. Once you're in motion, continuing is dramatically easier. The dread doesn't vanish, but it does lift. Give yourself a micro task so small it feels almost embarrassing. That's the point. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're trying to trick your avoidance reflex into standing down long enough for you to get started. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You have a brain that is very good at protecting you from short-term discomfort and very bad at caring about your long-term goals. That system made sense once. It doesn't serve you now. The question isn't, why can't I just do it? The question is, what feeling am I avoiding right now? What does starting this task force me to confront? Sometimes the task is just hard, but sometimes the task represents something harder. The fear that you'll try and it won't be good enough. The fear of what it means if you actually succeed. Your brain, trying to help, keeps steering you away from finding out. Here's what avoidance costs you. It keeps the fear perfectly preserved. Every day you don't start, the version of you that does stays hypothetical, safe, but stuck. The task will be there tomorrow. So will you. The question is, which version shows up? If any of this felt familiar, subscribe. Next week, we're talking about why your brain is wired to need external pressure to function and what you can actually do about it.